Hi everyone, it's Christina, and I'm going to show you another finished pocket letter. And this time I'm doing a swap with my girlfriend. She lives in the next province over. I'm in British Columbia and she's in Alberta. Her name is Sylvie. Hi Sylvie. And we're doing two pocket swaps. One is girly girlfriend themed and the other one is recipe themed. So I haven't started that one, but I finished this one and thought I would show you. So the first thing I did was took a bunch of playing cards and painted or did a wash of gesso on each one, so the finish looked like that when it was done. And then I popped that in all 9 pockets, so this is what the back looks like. And then I either stamped or did something right on the card or not. So I'll show you as I go through all the pockets. So the first one, I'll just pull it out. So I actually did some stamping on it. So this is a little bobby pin with some pretty bling on the top, and so that's, she can use the bobby pin for her hair or just take hot glue this, or not hot glue it, take your heat gun to it and this piece will come right off, and use that as the flower center. And then glued You're Fabulous on the top. And on the background, I did some stamping. It says, you're a wonderful friend, so thankful, beautiful you. And put some lace down here. And then this image is from a stamp that I bought, a background stamp that I bought years ago from Rubbernecker Stamps. And that is this gal right here. So I just inked her up on a piece of paper and colored her in, cut her out, and put her on there. And then the little bobby pin goes there, and she goes back in the envelope, or back in the pocket. Okay, and then this one. So there's the greeting, there's the playing card. I put some sticky washi tape up top there. This one is a thank you card I got from Michael's as well years ago. Oh no, a for you card. So I just put some ribbon around it, stamped Enjoy Life, It's Delicious. And then I put a couple little chocolates in there. And this pocket is these little envelopes that I picked up at Michael's. They're the celebrated 2.5 by 4 inch envelopes, white envelopes. And I have a cute little stamp set. Where is it? By Sweet and Sassy Stamps. This one is called Cocoa Latte. And I stamped this image out right here, the coffee cup with the little guy hanging out. And I also stamped Miss You a Latte, and Coffee and Friends Make the Perfect Blend. And that's on one of those little envelopes. And then on the inside the envelope, I'm going to pop in a Starbucks gift card. And then this pocket is just a little baggie filled with these little clips. And these little clips are really cute. They're all pink polka dotted ones that I got at Staples. So I put a bunch of those in the envelope here. And in this pocket, and this little card here says Compliments of the Season. I wrapped some pretty lace around it and stuck this love bling on the bottom. Alright, then in this pocket here, it's another one of those little bags. And I have a stamp that says Charmed, I'm sure. So I stamped that on the top, and then I stamped this little sewing machine and used my Copics and colored it in and then cut it out. And then I glued on a little Singer sewing machine charm. And then inside the envelope are a whole bunch of sewing machine charms. Alright, pocket number, oops, charms are falling out everywhere. Alright, then in this pocket is another little one of those white envelopes. And I use the same stamp, that background stamp, stamped the envelope. And then this little image here, it says scrapbooking girl, and the little girl sitting on the ground doing some scrapbooking. A long time ago, and we're talking several years ago, they had these cards. You know how they always have these cards and envelopes in the $1.50 bin at Michael's? Well, I still have, I still have a few left, so I just cut it out and glued her on the envelope, and in the envelope are a few little scrapbooking supplies, like some flowers and doodads and tags. With my tag punch, I punched out a bunch of little tags, so that goes in there. And then this one, I won't take it out because there's no little gifty in it. It's just the card, the greeting, or the playing card itself. I stamped on it with a background stamp, like a vintage lady's background stamp, and then stamped the words girlfriend, cut it out, glued it on. I have some plain wooden buttons, and I added some twine through them, and some seam binding. Cute little spool. I added some twine around that and glued on these little scissors. And in the last pocket is another one of the little bags. They work really well, these little bags. You do have to cut them to fit the envelope, but they're perfect for stamping on, decorating, embellishing, and then they fit so nice in here. So I had picked these up at Michael's in the $1.50 bin, I think, or the $3 bin. I can't remember. These are these little hangers with different sayings. So I used the one that says, "Hello, darling." And then inside, and then I decorate the bag with pretty paper. And inside, what's in here? Oh yeah, some more little fun doodads. Some pretty bling, flat back pearls, colored pearls, this little dress, and then some more hangers, but little tiny ones. So what these pockets don't have is a quote. I didn't put a quote pocket on here this time. I didn't do an about me because Sylvia and I know each other, but I still have to do a recipe one. So on the recipe one, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do some fun recipe quotes, and maybe I'll do a pocket that says a little bit about me. But for now, I think that's pretty good. Turned out fun. Lots of fun to make. I mean, once those creative juices start flowing, believe me, it's so addicting, and you don't want to leave your desk, you don't want to make supper, you don't want to go to sleep, you just want to play and play and play. Alright, so I have another pocket letter that I'm going to show you that's finished, and it's a sort of a cooking recipe themed, but I thought I'd just quickly share kind of how maybe I put these together. Some people have asked how I come up with my ideas, and I don't know, they just pop into my head. But I'm doing another recipe cooking themed one, and I'll just kind of quickly show you some of the ideas for what pattern papers I chose. So I've got some paper. I have a paper pad, and it was kind of an autumn themed paper pad. So I just cut a whole bunch out, and these all remind me of, you know, the kitchen or cooking themed or whatever. See, there's some vintage writing on there. Or what I'll do, and that's what I was going to show you right now, is I take my distress stain, and let's say I'm going to use these little envelopes right here. So I'll put a bunch of these stains here right on my craft mat. So I'm using ripe persimmon. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Okay, I got some yellow there, a little bit of peacock feathers, and what's this one? Shaded lilac. And then I'll just take my envelope and put that right on top. isn't that pretty? And then I'll just let it dry like that. And there is, see, I've done a couple others, and that is a really nice insert for these pockets. These make great backgrounds for the pockets. And I did the same technique on a bunch of tags. And then you cut them to size, make sure they fit the pocket. So really cool, pretty, colorful backgrounds. Then I have this, I don't know what this is, some kind of cotton ribbon. And I did the same thing. I just cut it in strips, tap it in here, and then you can use this as embellishment. You know, you can glue it on there, add a button or a flower, cut out a saying, and glue the saying on there. So just really a quick share as far as background paper for your pockets. So now I'm going to make little tabbed inserts for the pockets, and I got a bunch of these in my stash. I'm going to cut these 2 inches by 2.5 inches. Then I've got some pattern paper, and I'm going to put that on the front like so, and then with my tab punch from Stampin' Up, I'm going to staple that on there. Then I've got this cute little cookbook and recipe journaling stamp set, so I'm going to take this one and probably stamp that, you know, without the fork and spoon, right there. So it'll say food for thought. And don't forget, save your packaging because they make great backgrounds too. So I'm going to use this and cut it out and put that on the card or on the tag that I'm making. And I just bought this little stapler from Stampin' Up. Oh, I love it. Or if you've got this, you already know how cool it is. And it just makes these little, it's so, oh, I love it, I love it. It just makes these tiny little staples. So cute. So I took one of these, I glued it on the front of this little envelope that I cut off the bottom so it fit in the pocket, and I just used some washi tape to seal the bottom. And then a couple extra that I have, and then I'll just pop those in there, and that'll fit nicely in a pocket. So I'm almost finished this recipe one, and I'll quickly go through it. So here is a quote that I found on Pinterest. And this card, I have a little apron sticker, so I just put a cute little bit of trim there and a flower. This one here is a little tiny paper bag. And what did I do here? I put some pattern paper on the front, cut this little cup out that says Cuppa, and then I have a tea bag inside there. And this pocket is WTF, where's the food? And in here, what have I got in there? Oh yeah, some little tiny crocheted flowers. This middle pocket is a quote, good food, good life. And here, this is a Sherry Baldy digital stamp. I forget the name of it. She's holding a little coffee cup. Cut this little piece out, and then with my pen, I just wrote me. And inside here is just a little folder that I decorated with some sequins, a little arrow, and then inside is a little bit about me. And I don't know the name of this Sherry Baldy digital, I forget. And then this pocket goes a little envelope. And this pocket is a quote, homemade with love. In other words, I licked the spoon and kept using it. And I haven't quite finished this. I'm going to put some goodies back there. And with a little love, today's special homemade pie. And I'm going to put a recipe back there. So this one's not quite finished. I am going to fill it with a few little goodies. Then I'll show you another one that I'm finished. This also is recipe themed. So Queen of the Kitchen. I'm probably going to stamp a cute little saying here. Sugar and spice. This one here, cute little girl with the rolling pin. This cookies, and then back here is one of those little bags full of little doodads. And this pocket, I made a little file folder, and I think I'm still going to use some of my stamp sets, like this one here says Sweet Memories. I might stamp and cut that out. This one here says Sweetie. So I'm probably going to stamp, cut it out, and glue it right here. And inside here is a little Russell Stover chocolate candy. And how I make these little file folders are, I take a piece of pattern paper or cardstock, and it's 4 inches by 3 inches. And then I'm using these File Tab Edgelit dies by Stampin' Up. Alright, so let's just say I want my file folder to go up like so. So I'm going to put this die on this corner and this die on this corner. Then I'm going to put my plate on top. Carefully, because I'm not going to go grab my Scotch tape and tape it down so it's secure. I'm just going to do the best I can here. Run it through. And there we go. So cute. So cute. And this pocket is a file folder. And I didn't do this file folder. I got this in a recipe swap that I was in several years ago. It was a 4x6 recipe swap. So I stole it from there, but added menu here, added Bon Appetit, and there is a very good recipe in here for broccoli soup. And then behind there, I've added some really nice appliques. In here, this pocket, if I can get it out. Time to eat, time to work, time to play, time to eat again. And then this little taggy comes out. Not all tags, or not all, oh yeah, and there's a little doily here too. And I mean, if you're making these, not every single pocket has to have a gift in it. It could just have a quote. And this pocket is one of those little white bags. And I put a tag on the front and it says, here's what's cooking. And this is, again, I wrote here, me. So here's what's cooking. And just a little bit about me, because this pocket letter is going to somebody who knows me pretty well, I guess. But I wrote some stuff about me there. And inside here, I put some paw mark ribbon. And this one here says, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, count your blessings. Oh, and I've got some sequins back there. And in here, these little 3.5 by 2.5 cards are so fun to make because they're like mini layouts. So here's a little layout, you know, some trim, looks like a tablecloth, little tag, and eat, drink, and be merry. There we go. That's what I'm going to call these now, little layouts. And then this one here, cute little image, a balanced diet, a cookie in each hand. And then, see, that's what the back looks like. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I truly appreciate it. And if you want to give this a try, you don't have to be part of the Facebook group. You can just email your friend and say, hey, have you seen this new thing that everybody's doing with these pocket letters? And exchange with them. There was one more thing that I'm going to show you quickly before I finish this video. I have a big filing cabinet and I have a bunch of binders in there, and I am going to put some pretty patterned paper in here, and this is where I'm going to store my pocket letters. The ones that I get are going to go in here. So yeah, can't wait to do that. Oh my gosh, long video. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a great week.